Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to the stream. Today, at this time, we are handing over to Wise Papa, Grant Ellis, who is going to take over and teach us some Vagabonds of Dyfed, or Dyfed. One of those. It's a lot of fun. I've played before. I played it on one of his charity streams, and it is a tremendous amount of fun. It's a 2d6 system, and I'm sure Grant will go through all of that shortly. As for me, here are my social links. There's my Discord there, my Twitter, and my YouTube. If you want to get a game, you want to send me a DM on Twitter. If you want to join a fantastic, amazing, inclusive, teachy, lovely community, get on the Discord. And if you want to catch up with everything, as I catch up with everything, get on the YouTube. I also have a Patreon, where you can support me from as little as $1 a month. And I also have some merchandise. So if you'd like a handy little book to keep all of your one-shots in, like this one, you can. It's got the Academy logo on there, and you can see it's absolutely just the perfect size to write a 3-hour one-shot. Okay? So, that's my stuff. Also, if you are here today, it would be very appreciated if you could go and send a tweet out for us. That's awesome. If you can do that retweet, makes us very happy here. I think that's everything. And so, being that that is everything, why don't we go and get our players? Oh, hi you guys.
Hey there.
OBS is frozen again.
No. I will never dance on stream again. That's what did it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There!
Hey, Macarena.
Yeah, I don't know why it's been doing that recently. Whenever I try and change scenes, it's just like, no! You shall not change scenes. But there we go. We're live! Oh, hi! Let's go round and say hello. Oh, Grant, would you rather talk about the game first, or shall we do introductions first and then go from there?
Let's do introductions, and then we can get into the game.
Okay, perfect. Well, in that case, we'll go around the screen clockwise, and we'll introduce ourselves. So, how about we have a brief introduction from yourself, Grant?
Hi, everybody. My name's Grant Ellis, and this is my brief introduction. I was born in 1982 during the blizzard in Portsmouth, Virginia. And skip forward about 36 years, I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games now. And I really like participating on Scratch channel because it's an awesome community, and I really like this game because it gives us the opportunity to tell very interesting and exciting stories. And this cast is like the most amazing cast in the world. Look at it. Look at this cast. We got the prettiest faces.
Thank you so
Looks
much.
like we got a new friend.
So next around we have Burst of Hope, which I think is the nicest Twitter handle I've ever heard. Jess.
It's me. Hi. It's been forever. I've been super excited to come onto this channel, so I can't wait to play this one. I mostly lurk on channel, so I don't stream a whole lot, but I'm really excited to have you having me here. And I don't know, I'm a ninja off the screen.
Fantastic.
That's all. Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome, Castle Mac Lydia. Next around the clock we have Tahina.
Hey everyone, it's me again. I found myself with a free weekend, that's why I ended up the second time in stream again. And I'm so excited because I have been playing an awful lot of D&D 5th edition, and this is the first other role-playing RPG I've been learning for at least a year or something. So this is very exciting to me. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, fantastic. And at the bottom of the screen we have at Tix. Tix.
It takes.
Tix. There you go.
No problems. Yeah, I'm Tix. I'm usually just a small-time streamer, and I play a lot of role-playing games. They're in 5e, a lot of it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this because this is the first time for me.
Yeah. Now coming around to me, it's not the first time for me. I've played this game before on Grant's own stream when Grant was doing his charity stream. I don't know if I'll be bringing the same character or not yet. It's really fun though. It is a really fun, very intuitive system. So you're all in for a treat.
I think we should make yours completely out of random rolls.
Yeah, we can do that. Like 100%, we can do that.
Yeah.
Like I can even like get like I can like turn my voice box into synth mode if you like, and we can go for random voice. No. Last around the clock, we have Solution Gaming. Oh, hi, Lucian.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh.
So I'm Sir Lucian, and I've been meaning to get in a game with Grant and Scratix for a long time. I finally saw something come in that met the schedule, so I jumped right on, and then I'm already super impressed with the cast you've collected. I want to steal some of these people to play in my games because I do a lot of streaming of games. I'm usually a dungeon master or GM, but I also like to play every now and then just to keep the playing skills in there, and I'm excited for a Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is super fun because it's super story creating, and I have a lot of excitement. It's gonna be a good day, I think.
Always a good day with Grant at the helm. And so, Grant, we hand over to you.
All right, I quit. No, Scrat asked me if I could run a game this weekend, and I was super excited because it gives me the opportunity to run a one-shot. Typically, when I run a one-shot, I write a primer and I send it to the players. And that gives them an opportunity to get a feel for the type of game we're going to run. And I usually pick a system that I think will be good for the channel, good for the group, and good for the audience. So this week, I picked a game called Vagabonds of Dyfed, which is a Welsh word. I normally say Dyfed because I'm, an American. Excuse me. But let's talk a little bit about the game. So it's a hack of several other Powered by the Apocalypse games, namely John Harper's World of Dungeons and Blades in the Dark. There's some City of Mist thrown in. And the goal of this game is to grab any old D&D module, be it Keep on the Borderlands, Against the Cult of the Reptile God, White Plume Mountain, just any old D&D module, just pull it off the shelf and start running right away very quickly. Using a narrative-based system and a story-based system. There are three key principles of the game. Excuse me. The three principles are challenge and impartiality. So the world in Vagabonds of Dyfed does not care that our player characters exist. The fiction of the world, the fantastical elements about it, and the story-based elements will continue to march forward whether our characters are here or not. And the second side of that is impartiality. I, as a dungeon master, am expected to be impartial in my roles and the way the story unfolds. In other words, I'm encouraged to let the dice tell the story and allow the world to be cruel and merciless. Now, the counterweight to that is the characters do feel they are very important to the world and they would like to make an impact on it. So if they kill a demon lord, that will create a power vacuum, and other demon lords will try to take that position, which creates a cascading effect. And the characters would like to be known as the people that have performed these great deeds. They want to be the subjects of the songs that the bards sing, and they want to be the heroes and the stories that are told around campfires for generations to come. And they will do this through ingenuity. The game encourages players to come up with very creative solutions to solve problems. There's never any one solution in Vagabonds of Dyfed. And so through their ingenuity, they will create great impact on the world. The third key principle is to make meaningful choices, meaning anytime the players take an action, the world will have a reaction, which will inform the players on their future actions. And the players should be conscientious that their choices are meaningful. And anytime a meaningful choice comes up where the outcome is not certain, we have a die roll. And we'll talk about that now, the die roll. So this is a system that uses 2d6. You roll 2d6, and then you add what's called your aptitude, which will either be positive or negative. If you are good at something, for example, you are very skilled at killing goblins. So if you're attacking a goblin, you'd roll 2d6, and you would add 1 to the roll. If you were attacking goblins and you were afraid of goblins, that would be a negative modifier. You would roll 2d6 and you would subtract 1 from it. And that is the simple key mechanic of the game. 2d6. If you have advantage, you roll 3d6 and take the 2 highest. If you have disadvantage, you roll 3d6 and take the 2 lowest. Characters in this game are not defined by ability scores. They're defined by traits. And traits are either a few words or a simple sentence that describes the character. And they are your approach to conflict, your goal, what drives your character forward, a gimmick, which is what makes your character memorable. It might be they have an arm covered in dragon scales, or they have one glowing red eye. Your background, what you used to be or do. Your foreground, which is what you do now. And you have a weakness, which is a gap in your skill and abilities. Also, you have a core flaw, which is a lie that you yourself believe about the world. It might be that all dwarves are liars, or magic is a form of witchcraft. It's simply a core flaw that informs the way you interface with the world. You also have a technique, which is a cool thing that you can do. It might be you have a favorite weapon, or you're extremely strong, or you're gifted in casting spells. And a lineage. Are you an elf, a dwarf, a halfling, so on and so forth. Last but not least, as we roleplay these characters, we are encouraged to use the following principles as guidelines. First, we should inhabit the mind of our character. As we make decisions, we should think about how our character would actually respond to the situation. Likewise, these characters are all adventurers. They should act like it. So they should go right into the adventure and behave with the appropriate attitude. And every challenge should be approached with creativity. You trust your comrades with your life, meaning there is no inter-party conflict, meaning you're together as a group because everyone in the group is friends and trust each other to go on these great adventures. So there's no distrust between the party members. Then the next principle is the world is cruel and demands respect. So it's going to be a very dangerous world where death is a likely possibility. When in doubt, run, evade, and hide. If you feel you're overmatched, you get out of there, escape, find a way to get out of there. And then last, keep your footprint small, leave no trace. So your adventurers, your vagabonds, your treasure hunters, when you go to some place, you don't want anyone to know that you were ever there. So those are sort of the principles of the game. I handed all the players archetypes, so the various types of characters, prior to the game's beginning. And we're actually going to make a character too. So let's go ahead and we're going to make Scrat's character with him. So, all right, Scrat. So here's what we're going to do. My friend Ben Dutter, who designed the game, he wrote a supplement that will be published soon called the Vagabonds Cyclopedia. And it's based on the old D&D rules cyclopedia. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to roll 2d6 and tell me what you get on each die. Don't add them together, but just tell me what you get. And this will be your approach to conflict.
I might use some of my own pretty dice, actually.
You can do that.
I rarely use pretty dice.
Tell me what each one of them says.
I see a nice yellow one and a nice like red, like sort of scarlet one. I have a 2 and a 6.
So you have careful observation and cautious action is your approach to conflict. So I'm going to paste that in the Zoom chat. So careful observation and cautious action. That's how you approach conflict in the world. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to determine your gimmick. Go ahead and roll 2d6 again.
That's a 3 and a 4.
All right. You are a bit obsessed with heights, climbing, and cliffs. So,
okay,
you're the lookout. And again, this will be your goal.
2 and a 4.
The rule of law is a grotesque corruption of nature. So you're anti-law. You're an anarchist.
Oh,
or a naturalist.
Beautiful.
Yeah. In your background. So 2d6 again.
Oh, floor rolls don't count.
A cautious anarchist. This will be interesting.
Yeah, who's obsessed with heights? A 3 and a 5.
All right. Your background is you were magically experimented on until you escaped.
Oh, okay. No
Poor
wonder I
guy.
don't like laws.
And your foreground.
5 and a 4.
You got a 5 and a 4. Is you ran a very lucrative caravan hawking artifacts. This is what you most recently did. Your most recent job, you had a caravan, and you would and artifacts in quotes. They weren't actually artifacts; they were fake. And now your weakness. So, 2d6 again.
A 4 and a 1.
All right. You are greedy to a fault, even endangering yourself and others. You're a bad guy. No. All right. Now let's for your core flaw, go ahead and roll 2d6 again.
That's another 4 and a 1.
All right. So your bloody conquest is for the glory of the empire, but you're an anarchist. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up a little bit more. So go ahead and roll 1d6.
1.
You wear a fur cap. And roll 1d6 again.
6.
A military tunic. And 1d6 again.
Another 6.
The tunic is dark, near black in color. And now roll one more d6.
That's another 6. This is going to be all of my 6s. I'm not going to get
then
any
you
more
move
6s.
Yeah, you move slow, methodical. So you're very slow and deliberate in your movement. So this is some more of the physical characteristics of this character. And you can name him whatever you want, or we can roll. And I think it might be interesting for your technique. So everyone has these cool things that they can do. We're playing in Dortoka, which right after we're done describing Scrat's character and making the rest of the characters, we'll go ahead and recite the primer for the audience. I think you are going to have science. You're going to be a psionicist. So
Psionicist?
A psionicist. So it's not in the book. The regular Vagabond. Yeah, it's not in the standard Vagabonds book, but I've just pasted it into chat. So this is one special to Dortoka, where you are a psionicist. So this is innate to this world. So you can marshal your willpower to extreme levels, manifesting as psychic powers, telepathy, telekinesis, to paralysis, so on and so forth. And how each of those work, I have a guide. I can send those to you. It's not too difficult. So yes, that is essentially your character. So we came up with something out of nothing, and he's a collection of sentences. The sentences will either help him or hinder him as he attempts to do things in the world.
Does the Empire have to be the Empire, or could it be like an Empire of Thieves?
It's like Star Wars, Darth Vader, the whole lot. No,
okay.
No, you can call it something else.
It's just I'm thinking everything points to cat burglar. I've got a careful observation and cautious action. I've got a planner who's really obsessed with heights and climbing. He doesn't believe in law, and he sold lucrative fake items. I mean, he's a cat burglar.
So let's come up with a different core flaw where essentially, so for your core flaw, roll 2d6 for me again.
That's a 2 and a 5.
Okay, so your core flaw is you are an adrenaline junkie.
Oh.
That fits better.
Cautious adrenaline junkie. Got it.
Well, your approach to conflict is cautious, right?
I see. Yeah.
But if there's no conflict, you still, you'll do whatever it takes to get that dopamine rising in your system.
Love me some dopamine. Love it.
So, next, we won't have to do so much work to get those of us that have archetypes picked out. So why don't we start with Tahina? Tahina, you were going to play a rogue?
Yes, I'm going to play a rogue, small folk.
Okay, and if you look on the archetype sheet,
Mhm.
kind of grayed out near the bottom, the lower third of the sheet, there are
Yeah.
different techniques. Which one sounds interesting to you, and we can tell you what it does.
Eyeball it.
Eyeball it. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good one. So you can always determine near exact lengths, weights, and other measures just by looking at it. So if you hold the chicken in your hand, you know how much the chicken weighs by guessing. Or if there's a gap between two buildings, you know how far it would be to jump.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that's good for a rogue, and I'm going to paste that one in the Zoom chat.
That's a glorious technique. I'm jealous.
And then, so you already have small folks, so that should be good. Tix, what are you playing?
I am playing a Beastkin Adventurer.
Ooh, yeah. So for your adventurer technique,
Yeah.
which looks interesting to you?
Pathfinder for one.
Okay. I always picked Iron Stomach, which is literally just you can eat anything. If it goes in your mouth, you can swallow it. Yeah. All right. So you never fail when attempting to find a trail or path. So if you're anytime you're trying to find a trail or path, it is impossible for you to fail. Now you might not have a full success, but that's a pretty good one, especially for an adventurer.
What does Ear to the Ground do?
Okay, ear to the ground. Ear to the ground is you have a friendly NPC ally or asset in every urban center or stronghold. So that mostly applies when you're doing downtime scenes, but I would probably work it into a social scene.
Let's go with the Pathfinder, actually.
All right. Pathfinder is, I went ahead and pasted it into the Zoom chat.
Awesome.
And Jess, what are you considering playing?
I was eyeballing the Avowed Dwarf.
The dwarf.
Yeah.
Which of the techniques were you going to go with? The nose for evil or
Oh, hell yeah, all the way.
All right, I'll paste nose for evil into the chat, so you can add that to your sheet or anywhere else you're tracking it.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. And did you need the special abilities to dwarf again, or did you get those earlier?
I mean,
I'll paste them just in.
Yeah, if you could paste those, that'd be awesome.
So poison immunity, dark vision, you never fail when attempting to execute your chosen craft, which you can choose whatever that is. And then, yeah, when you're attempting something in an obstinate, stubborn, or direct way, you get a critical success on a 12.
Got it.
And Sir Lucian.
Yeah, I'm thinking human warrior.
All right. So in this, the warrior's beastkin. So what I'm going to do, though, you can just be a human. And so what I'm going to do is give you what a human gets. So just like the dwarves got a bonus when they're acting obstinate, humans get bonuses when they're acting innovative. There's also certain things that will give humans extra experience during the game, which probably, since this is a one-shot, won't come into effect, but simply being innovative will cause you more likely to have a critical success. And beneath the traits on your archetype page, if you have it handy, there are a list of techniques. Which sounds interesting to you?
I'm thinking armor-born.
Got it. So
just sounds cool.
It does. I wish I was armor-born. Instead, I was just from Virginia, and that was it. All right. So what armor-born does is it makes you go faster. So normally, you see how your speed is -4? A higher speed number is better. So you are the slowest character. However, being armor-born will take off 3 from that speed reduction, and you'll probably be moving, almost as fast as the rogue, even though you're wearing heavy armor. So
I like it.
Yeah, let me put that in there. And did we miss anybody? I don't think so. All right, so now for the benefit of the audience, we've made our characters and our characters are ready to go. They are a group that works together. We know how we want to act as vagabonds who explore the city of Dortoka, which we will now talk a little bit about. So here is the adventure hook. Retrieve the Hellfire Gauntlet from the floating sanctum. Restore the Ikaitsa to glory. After 1,000,000 years of usurpation, corruption, and malevolent sorcery, the land was ravaged and barren. The fabled empires of old, ruled by dragons and demons and sorcerer kings, collapsed and imploded as nature corrupted around them. All that's left is a profane steppe, a flat plain, a sea of glass, so bereft of any shape or texture, so as to shimmer beneath the failing sun. All that's left, that is, except for Dortoka. Dortoka, a crusty scab of a city, a stronghold against the onslaught of corruption and hellish storms, a lone turtle forever tucked in its protective shell, far larger and more impressive than its inhabitants, a final vestige of the glittering era long past. You are vagabonds, sellswords hired by the Ikaitsa bloodline. You are to infiltrate the palatial floating sanctum and retrieve an artifact of great power. Your reward is an alliance between your company, the Grey Cloaks, and the Ikaitsa nobility. So that's sort of our adventure, and now what we'll kind of do is flesh out how this actually came to pass. So who in the party, and it can be any of you, there's no right or wrong, were approached by the Ikaitsa? They're a bloodline, they were a noble family, they are a powerful faction in the city of Dortoka that needed to find sellswords to go on a quest. So who of our party was approached by a member of this family?
Seems unlikely to be me, I think. I'm running my own rig, you know, I'm stealing shit all the time.
So does let's go through each of your backgrounds real quick. So let's look at this. So the warrior was a gladiator. The rogue was an heir to a mighty business, so potentially. We don't have a mage. The avowed was a bloodthirsty sellsword. And the adventurer grew up in the ship's galley. So, and then we essentially have Thief McThieferton, Scrat's character. So I'm going to suggest that it was Tahina who was approached, both as a master cut purse in rogue, as well as someone who was an heir to a mighty business. So this powerful family sought you out through political connections, and you needed to recruit a team. So who on the team had you worked with before and trusted to bring onto this mission? Could be any of the other characters.
I would say that I most likely knew Scraticus's character because he is a cat burglar, right? So maybe we had played tricks together in the past, and I would know that he is not a fan of the Empire and most likely not a fan of the nobility, but would most likely be interested in stealing something just to be like,
stick it to the man. Yeah.
Yes.
Are there like races in this setting as well? Like, can I
There are.
Can I choose to be like a goblin or something like that?
You can choose to be a goblin because I think they added goblins to. Well, I think the goblins are in this cyclopedia. So let me give you.
I only want it for the voice. That's all I want it for. Just the voice.
Oh, please.
Oh dear.
Oh, please, no. All right. Let me give you your goblin statistics. So I'm going to paste it into Zoom chat. And you can speak as a goblin if you want.
Yes, I do. I very much want.
Yeah. So you naturally see twice as far as a human in dim light and darkness. You never fail when attempting something mischievous or in an underhanded way. You do extra damage to foes that are bleeding, and you're little. So, now, what is your goblin's name?
Turgak.
That's the Turgak.
Turgak.
Turgak. And Turgak, you knew that there would be someone who would be able to discern how to access this floating sanctum. Which of the other party members did you seek out to get information how to access it?
I think possibly Jess's character. Like, she knew a noble family, and I know she does some sneaky stuff on the side, so I reckon she's got connections.
And what is Jess's character's name?
I'm going to be Xander with an X.
Xander. Zandre. Zonde.
No.
Yeah, so we have Xander, we have Sahili, we have Turgak.
Turgak.
All right. And the soothsayer was able to, or rather the avowed was able to discern through prophecy and prayer the location of the floating sanctum. However, they needed to navigate there through the city. So which party member remaining, Sir Lucian's character or Tix, did you recruit to lead you through the ruined city of Dortoka?
I would say, as a dwarf, I took Tix's character.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So he's the adventurous beastkin.
Yeah.
So what type of beastkin are you? Like, what is your form?
I am resembling a wolf.
Velociraptor. Okay, a wolf man.
Yeah.
So for a raptor. All right. All right. So, and what is your character's name?
I am trying to figure that out, but I am gonna go with. Let's go with the Sylwyn.
All right, Sylwyn the Wolfman. And he knew the way, which left a sellsword needed, and that would be Sir Lucian's character, who would be named.
That would be Louis. It's short for lieutenant, but everybody just calls me Louis.
Louis. And there's a few things. So if we could change our names in Zoom to the characters' names to help everyone remember them. So there's a few things I want us to think about to sort of get the feel and the ambiance for Dortoka as a city in a campaign setting. So I want you to imagine an endless sea of melted and prismatic glass. I want you to smell in the air a burning of rusted steel. I want you to imagine purples, pinks, blues, and yellows colors, spreading across this once magnificent city. I want you to picture in your mind's eye the giant fossilized bones of a titanic monster. I want you, as you peer through the shadows, to imagine the glint of a knife, bloodthirsty eyes, millions of abandoned, empty apartments, glittering cathedrals and floating temples, many like you, hungry, desperate, and cruel salvagers seeking for treasures in this lost city. There is no government here. There's only different factions, of which you, the Grey Cloaks, are but one. And I also want you to imagine structures toppled over, crashed into the ground, and hear the pounding percussion of a trapped demon or devil behind closed doors. And the adventure is going to begin with 2 roles, the planning role and the preparation role. The first role, the planning role, is how well your party put together a plan to seek out the floating sanctum. So what I would like is for Tahina to roll 2d6.
All right. Real?
Real or in roll 20,
Then
and
let's
just
do
tell me
the
what you
real.
got.
I got a 6 and a 2.
So you got an 8. So here's how this works. So at any point during the adventure, any member of the party can make a roll with advantage. So you can roll 3d6 and take the 2 highest. When attempting to do something that would have required planning, it might be sneaking through the city. You would know the safest route. If you come to a puzzle that you're trying to solve, you will have a plan. So based on an 8, each member of the party one time can roll with advantage. The next roll is the preparation roll. This is the quality of equipment that you took with you going on this adventure. And for this, I would like Turgak to make the roll. He was trusted with it.
That's a 10.
He got a 10. So, you, at any point during the adventure, you will be able to produce 2 items. And this could be any member of the party. You're going to have 2 items. If at some point you're stuck or you need something, a map or a dictionary, any other item that might be useful for the situation that could have conceivably been acquired, you have 2 such items. You get to make up what they are on the spot. You know, if you need a crowbar to open a door, you have your crowbar.
Or even a key.
Potentially, yes. There might be a little more challenging, maybe, if it was a specific key to a specific door.
I'm
Yes.
thinking dynamite.
Always dynamite. I mean,
A Hellfire Gauntlet would be too much to ask, I guess.
yeah.
Just checking.
Well, guys, we done it.
Here you go.
We're done. Let's go.
All right. So the adventure begins as such. The party has been traveling through the ruined city of Dortoka. And you are passing through a monastery that is overgrown and choked by desiccated roots and psionic runes. You hear beneath the surface of the ground and coming through the walls a sort of gurgling noise. You can smell burning ozone in the air. There's very light colored walls as you've come into a room that has these beautiful scenes of paradise and relaxation, frescoes painted directly onto the walls. However, as you look down the wall, the lower halves of them are just covered with disgusting filth and refuse. And the air in this courtyard is extremely hot. A shadow moves over the party. What do you do?
I take a big whiff.
Oh.
Okay, so you're trying to smell evil?
Yeah.
Or just ozone?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
both.
all right, so go ahead and it's not evil you smell, but it's kind of an emotion that is similar to it. And essentially, this courtyard has 4 exits, including the path you're coming from. There is the smell of fear coming from the east and the west. You are coming from the south, headed north. Not evil, but fear.
Not a lot of good things have happened here, guys. It doesn't smell like immediate danger, but some scary things have happened in this general direction.
Let me see, I say, and I would like to eyeball the distance we would have to cross the slide-colored room in order to pass through it on our way.
It'd take you about, take you a round or 2. It's about 60 feet.
Maybe we could just run through. What do you think, Sky?
Yes, possibly. We could do this. I'm not afraid of what's here, but somebody was.
I think we should be careful. If there's something here that's gonna be causing all sorts of problems, then we don't want to be rushing into things, okay? We need to take it easy and make sure we don't get caught or worse, killed.
Now, Turyak, don't be so afraid.
I'm not afraid, I'm alive. It's different.
This is true. Okay, I'll give you that one. It's okay.
But Lady Fortune favors the bold. Never forget.
So, is the party going to attempt to dash across?
It's not so far, look.
I'll tell you what, everyone else dash, and then if you're all okay, I'll go at the end.
What's this? Okay, and Turgak. So Turgak, you're kind of moving in the back to let people go before you, correct?
I'm being extra cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Roll 2d6 for me, +1.
That's an edge. I got 6 + 1 is 7.
All right, you notice behind you, about 100 feet off, coming down the city, there is a group of what looks like 7 individuals. They are wearing helmets that look like they have engravings on them. From this distance, it looks like angels on one side and people kneeling on the other, and they're carrying long spears, and they seem to be following the party's tracks.
Oh, God, I told you we should have doubled back a few times. Look, we're being followed!
Not every member of the party leaves tracks in the same manner, but they are following the deeper ones.
I alert the party.
We're being followed! Come, let's do something!
Oh, now would be a good time to dash. So when should we lead?
Oh, God!
Do we need to carry you?
I'll go forward.
All right. As you're crossing, and you come to the center of the courtyard, you notice on the north end, there appears to be another patrol. This looks like 7 more individuals. If Turgak sees them, they look like similar guys, except the color of their tunics is slightly different. And they are coming down the corridor. They seem to be marching with purpose. They haven't quite made out that you're there yet, but they probably will shortly. What do you do? Haven't quite spotted anyone.
Are we out in the open, or is there something?
Yeah, it's an open courtyard, so you'd be coming through like a standard-sized doorway, and it looks like off, maybe 60 feet. There is a group further down the hallway of 7 or so spear carriers with the odd divine helmets. There's also doors going to the east and west, so they're coming from the north. You're being followed from the south.
Yeah, I'll look over my shoulder and quietly say to them, east or west? And whoever says the first one, I head that direction.
East.
I go east.
I go
east.
I start to move east.
Okay, so you're going down a long corridor. It's very dusty. It looks not traveled often, and you enter the road changes from sort of a strange concrete to more of a cobblestone, and you see old decrepit buildings that have bone and leather roofs and walls. There is a woman who has a bench set up, and she appears to be handing very small, carefully wrapped packages to a group of children. There's about 7 or 8 of them. This area is mostly illuminated from these glowing orbs that seem to float through the streets and by the houses. And there seems to be clusters of these buildings with more of an open area where the bench in wagon, there's a wagon hitched to the bench, and there is a woman who is giving things to the children, and you notice that two of the children seem to be removing objects from the wagon out of the woman's notice. What do you do? And they're maybe 60 feet off in front of you.
I look at the party and I'm like, well, this place seems worse for the wear. I don't think we should bother with these children. They have a hard enough time.
Yes, but maybe we can use them as a distraction for the people following us. Maybe we can put a sign saying, look, thieves this way.
I like the way you think, Turgak. Yes, good. Well, should we throw them under the bus, though? They're kids.
Yes.
We could use them later.
What do you think, Sahili?
I don't like throwing them under the bus. I think practice makes perfect, and they're starting early. I approve of that. I don't want them to be caught by those bullies following us. I don't know.
But if you don't get caught, you don't learn how to do it properly.
It's true. Turgak makes the point.
If we look behind us, can we tell if our tracks are noticeable because it changed to cobblestone? Maybe it's not as noticeable. Maybe they won't be able to track us.
It looks like this. There are less. Roll 2d6 plus 1.
6.
So that's a failure. This is what you know, though. There is an audible sound of boots coming down the hallway behind you guys, coming down this corridor. However, it's not like 20 people. It's probably more like 4 or 5, and they probably split up and are pursuing in smaller numbers. They probably came to an intersection, just like you guys, and were like, well, branch off.
Why don't we try to blend in?
Yes, that's what I wanted to suggest.
Can they see us right now?
The people pursuing you, or the children and the woman?
The people pursuing us specifically.
You don't know. Do you think they can?
I think I might be able to get away with something. Is this a less well-traveled path?
As far as you could tell, all of this is less well-traveled.
Can I quickly set up a tripwire?
Yes. Roll 2d6 plus your bonus for being a goblin.
My goblin bonus is what, +1?
No, if you roll a 12, we're going to treat it like a critical success.
I rolled a 5.
As you go to set up your tripwire, and you manage to break one use from your adventuring kit. So your adventuring kit has 5 uses. You can use it for all kinds of things: lighting torches, opening or disarming traps sometimes, having a bedroll, just things you would need: ropes, grappling hooks, etc. He just lost a use from failing to set up the tripwire.
Oh, no.
How about the buildings on the side of the cobbled street? Is there something we could get inside and hide?
Yeah, you definitely could. You definitely could. And as you notice, though, that the woman and the children seem to have picked notice of you, and the children kind of get behind her, and she draws a blue-bladed sword. She doesn't quite know who you are or what to make of you. She kind of calls you out, hail and well met, adventurers, and she's speaking in a tongue that you understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello there! Is that food that you're giving out?
Yes, cheeses.
I like cheese.
We do love good cheeses.
Yeah, cheese is good.
What are you? Are you just giving food out?
But more importantly, I have a question. Do you know who's following us?
There's many people who dwell here in Dortoka, but there's a good chance that it's the Crimson Star Monastery remnants. They're scattered. Their leaders are dead. They wander these parts with their spears and their helms, keeping to the old ways, but not remembering what they meant.
Seems hostile.
just then, 6 of these helmet-wearing spear carriers come through, and she says, and here they are. So you're about, 60, 50 feet away from them. They see you with the spears, and they're kind of taking an aggressive posture. And then they kind of chime out in this kind of low, guttural, throaty speak. And then the woman responds too, flip, flap, flip, flap, flip, and back at them. She goes, they're asking for the wagon and everything in it, and 2 of the children, and this is not right.
What? They're just gonna try and seize your wagon and your kids?
Oh, shoot.
It is their way.
Guys, Turgik, I mean, we were gonna throw the kids under the bus, but we can't let them take the wagon and the kids. That's just wrong, right?
Well, look, hang on a minute. Let's figure this out, lady. If we sort out this problem for you, if we manage to get rid of them, can we have the cart and the kids?
You would take the kids off my hands?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. We can. I see potential.
I see profit.
That's the same thing.
Depends on how you look at it.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Sure. You can take the cart and the kids.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Yeah, let's. You guys go and take the cart. Go and take care of them. I'll stay back here and make sure everything's okay.
Of
All
course.
right, and with that, we're kind of entering combat. So, who of the party members has the highest speed score? So, our warrior has a 1. I think he has the highest. Well, he has -1. So, our heavily armored warrior kind of gets the first action because these spear carriers are coming down and they're going to attack the group and try to take things by force. Maybe not kill you. Also, one of the guiding principles in this game, combat, rather than being treated like sport, it should be treated like war. So one side is definitely trying to win over the other.
Okay.
That's how I treat all of my combat.
All combat is war. Jess and the art of war. I've seen some gifs of you. I've seen some staff action.
Yeah.
So, can I just angle towards them, but in such a way that it pulls them away from the wagon?
Make roll 2d6 plus 2. I'm going to give you some traits there that you have, from taunting people in arena pits to, serving in war, that you have these tactical movements.
Okay, I got a 9.
Noise.
All right, so you managed to break off 3 of the 5, or 3 of the 6. So half of them are coming towards you, and the other half are going towards the rest of the party. Next on our list would be the rogue. So it's Tahina's turn. Sahilis.
I'm not sure if this would work, but could I potentially take out a rope or something out of my climber's kit and try to make it so that maybe I put the end in Tarek's hand and run around them and try to tangle them up, let them fall over the rope or something like that? At least one of them, maybe?
So,
Tripwire, part 2.
Tripwire!
Yep, so here's how it's going to work. So go ahead and roll. You're going to roll 2d6, but let's see if there's anything else that might help you. So I think your cutthroat and sneak thief foreground will help you. So 2d6 plus 1.
2d6 plus 1. All right, then.
They're also littles.
Oh, that's nice. That's 11 in total.
All right, 11. You do it. So you're kind of running around, and you've managed to get around them. Now, they haven't quite tripped yet, but they are slowed down and caught up by the rope. 3 of them.
All right.
And let's jump now to the next party member, which would be the other one. It would be our wolf man.
Yeah.
So
would I be able to run up to the ones who are tangled in the rope?
Yes.
Could I actually make it a run and then throw myself at them as to tackle them?
Like flying cross body press float pro wrestler Ricky Steamboat style, just totally.
Totally.
Yeah, you can try that. So you might have a couple things as an adventure. So my question for you, Silwyn, is okay. So if you look at this, you're relentlessly overeager. That definitely counts. So roll 2d6 plus 1.
All right. That is 7, 8.
All right, an 8. So you jump in, and out of your 2 dice, what's the lowest die?
1.
All right, so it's a 1. So you jump, and they all go tumbling down, and they each take a point of damage as you kind of wolfman body press across them, knocking them all down. And so they tumble to the ground, so they're now prone with a wolfman rolling off of them. And it is now the dwarf's turn.
Okay.
Xander.
As I saw Silwyn charging the guys tied up, I took my divine totem and kissed it in a very, here we go, and in great dwarven fashion, I swung my mace and I was like, "Rah!" And I'm just waddling over.
Now you can bash one on the ground with advantage. Roll 3d6 and then add. I think I'd count that as a prayer before battle. And bloodthirsty, you're just charging right in. So 2d6 or 3d6 plus 2. Take the 2 highest on your d6.
Okay, 4 to 5 is a 9 plus 2.
9. So on your lower die, what did you get?
Dos.
Okay, so you've bashed the skull of one of these helmeted spear-carrying individuals, and you feel your mace crush the helmet. It cracks and chips. Excuse me. Almost as if the helmet's made out of clay. You can hear it shatter, and a dark crimson pool begins to spill out the back of the helm as you have slain the spear carrier on the cobblestone steps.
Pitiful helmets you carry with you! How dare you try to take advantage of these children!
Oh, no, that's what they say. It's now the spear carrier's turn. So they're trying to get out of the ropes. Are you, as a party, going to try to keep the ropes taut around them, or are you going to switch tactics? Wait a second. Turgak.
Yeah. I try to.
Turgak gets the turn, too. Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't sure if I was going last. That's cool. So Turgak's gonna he's gonna look around for vantage points up high.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you can climb up one of the buildings or one of the walls. The wall's about 60 feet tall. The buildings are about 20 feet tall.
I'll take a building. I'll hop up the 20 feet.
All right, you're scrambling up. You get about 3/4 of the way up, and there you go. So now these spear carriers. I'm going to need each person to roll 2d6, and we can talk about if you have any modifiers to help you avoid getting stabbed. For sure, Louis, being an arena fighter, would at least get a +1 from that, but we can talk about...
Ooh, cool. I rolled a 9, and I wanted to fight pretty defensively. I wanted to take the attention of the 3 so my companions could handle the others.
So, okay. So, you do not take any damage from this. So they are unable to hit you, I believe. Let me double check. So on your defense roll, yeah, I'm gonna say, what was that, a 9 on the dice or a 9 counting?
9 on the dice.
You're
10 plus
you're
1.
fine. Yeah, you're fine. You suffer no damage. How about the rest of the party members, starting with Turgak?
I'm up a wall. I think that will help.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Well, no, you're not. They're throwing a spear.
But still, I mean, ranged combat, that should help.
Yeah.
I am climbing cautiously, trying to find cover. That's one of my things. And get cautious.
Cautious as in moving slow.
Finding cover.
on the
Okay.
wall.
You're
On
a
a
smaller
wall.
target. You're gonna get at least a +1 bonus to this, so because you're a smaller target. So 2d6 + 1.
2d6 is 8 plus 1, 9.
All right, 9. So what's the lower die?
It was a 3.
You take 3 points of damage. Do you have any armor? If anything, we can say that you have the same type of armor that the adventurer has. So let's double check.
Gambeson.
Yeah, Gambeson. So it counts as 1 armor, so it reduces the damage by 1, and you now only take 2 points of damage. You have 8 hit points to start, so you have 6 remaining.
Okay.
Alrighty. And now let's go with Sahili. What did you get? 2d6. Plus one
I
at
rolled 8, then so it's a 9 with the +1, and I'm also wearing armor.
Okay, so
small.
what did you get on your 2 dice?
On the dice, I rolled an 8.
Were they both?
A 3 and a 5.
Okay, so your armor. Let's see if you have any armor.
I have a gambeson. If the
You
archetype
do,
is
so
high.
that'll reduce it by 1. So you will take 2 points of damage.
Alrighty.
All right. And the next person is Silwen.
Yes. Okay. Yep. 3 on the dice.
All right. So okay. And then you end up taking what is it, a 1 and a 2?
Yeah.
So you end up taking 4 points of damage, and your armor will reduce it by 1. So you take 3 points of damage.
All right.
And next up, we need to have Xander make a roll.
We got a 6 and a 1.
And let's see if there's anything else that helps you. You did pray before you charged into combat.
Truth.
Yeah, so you'll get a +1.
I
So
am a
that brings us to
bloodthirsty sellsword, so lots of battles have been fought here.
Yeah, it's that's always a difficult one because there's also this idea of positioning and risk, which means you can attack and do more damage, draw more blood, or you can fight more defensively, kind of like how Louis is fighting. Would you say you're leaning more into your blows, attempting to do more damage, or are you
Positively.
okay?
Yes.
That's what I was assuming. I should have asked earlier, and that is actually how and why you killed the guy.
Okay.
So with this, you're going to get hit, but what did you get on your 2 dice?
6
what-
and a 1.
Okay, so you're going to take 3 points of damage. Your armor reduces that by 2, so you take 1 point of damage.
Got you. Tis
All
but
right.
a flesh wound.
And so that's essentially our first round of combat, and we now go back to Louis' turn.
All right. Does it feel like my companions have the 2 in hand? Because there's a third one that was down, so I have the 3 kind of tied up, and they look
Yep.
like they're getting the upper hand. I think I'm going to
Absolutely.
continue to fight defensively, stepping back some just to keep the gap between the group I'm trying to keep the attention of and them, a little bit of space so that I'm controlling as many as I can. And then I think while I'm talking, I'm telling a war story to the 3 that are in front of me, whether they can understand my language or not, about how back in the day I fought something just like this, but there were 4 of them and they didn't fare as well. But maybe you 3 will do better this time around. And it's just
Love
like an ongoing story of some sort from some
Love
old
it.
battle.
And so are you attacking them at all or just leading them off?
I think the only attacks I would send is to make them think I'm attacking them, but I'm not doing anything that would put me open to being attacked. I'm just trying to keep their attention. I don't want them to turn them around.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of kiting them around.
Yeah.
You do that. Now, earlier, I believe Sahili was keeping the ropes tight. Yeah.
I'm no longer doing that because I got just stabbed and it hurt and I'm now angry and I'm going to yell at the big bully, pick on someone your size! And I throw a dagger at him.
All right. Roll 2d6 plus 2.
Oh, I have an 8 again. This time it's a 6 and a 2. And somewhere I read something with a 1, I think. No.
You do two extra points of damage.
Oh, because he's bigger than I am, right? So that's a 10 then.
And what did you get on the lower die? Was it
a 2?
Okay,
a 2 and a
so
6.
2 plus 2 is a 4. So describe how you dagger and slay this spirit carrier.
So he's leaning over me and he just stabbed me and I let go of the rope and yell at him and throw the dagger and I hit right underneath where the edge of his helmet is basically.
Yes,
and he's gargling.
He's gargling and he dies before he hits the ground. All right, Sylvan.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away from the pile I just tackled and run back like I don't know, 15-20 feet maybe, if it's possible, and I will pull out my short bow.
All right, and you want to take a shot?
Yeah. How do I do this?
All right, so you're gonna roll 2d6 and then we can determine what of your traits will help you. So run today, fight another day.
Yes.
I'll give that to you.
The one that I was thinking about.
Yeah, so that would work. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 1.
Yes, that would be 8.
Okay, so you hit him, and go ahead and what did you get on the 2 dice?
6 and a 2.
All right, so it will be 2 points of damage to that one, and so he is now bloody. He's shot with an arrow. He's in great pain. It goes right through the cloth that he's wearing, and he appears to be having some difficulties. With that, we now move to Turgak.
So, Turgak would like to finish climbing to the top of the building.
He's up.
Yeah, and from here he should have he wants to have a good look at what's going on below him. He's going to be using his careful observation and looking for any ringleaders or people orchestrating the fight and maybe doing sneaky things and trying to get advantages.
There's not too. It doesn't look like anything sneaky going on, and in fact, your party seems a little sneakier than these guys. And it's clear that although your party took a little bit of damage, they're clearly overmatching these spear carriers who are looking like they might break. They're going to try to get themselves out of there. They don't want to die, as many of them have fallen already. And so that works out for you. Is there anything else you're doing up there? Because that's not really an action. You've looked and you've seen them. There's no roll required.
Okay, so I'm looking at my psionics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I want to like attack anyone, or maybe instead just sort of like bar their path, try and create an advantage for my team. Stop them from being able to break and flee, maybe make them panic.
Okay.
And so like when he starts like casting as well, he's gonna do it like AIDS Odyssey start like he's gonna start glowing.
All right. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me.
Sure.
So straight.
Can I add things to it?
Possibly. Go ahead and tell me what you think.
Well, I'm being careful and observant from up here. I'm also obsessed with heights, and I'm up high.
Yep.
And I was magically experimented on, and I'm using magic.
Yeah. Go ahead. Pure +3.
I rolled a 4, so thank God for the +3.
All right. So you start glowing in the dark. And you cause a large pillar that looked as if it was to some ancient monument to fall. And it falls. There's not many spear carriers remaining. There's a group chasing Louis, but essentially it falls, and Louis sees it just as the spear's out of range. There's this massive column that cuts off the three that were pursuing him. And it's almost one of those like, his heart, it's like that could have been him.
No wave.
Yeah, I start coughing from all the dust and trying to get it out of my eyes.
So it does say on my psionics, on a 7 to 9, I do with the spray tag, so nearby allies and unintended targets are affected.
Yeah, you're up there though. So if anything, he's cut off from the rest of the party and kind of out of sight. Yeah, so it's one of those things where they're separated. There's a division, but now that they don't see him, they're kind of backing up and they turn their attention to the rest of the party. And it is now Xander's turn.
The ones that were tied up but Sahili let go. Did we take care of all of them between the wolf and I?
There's one still up.
Okay. The ones coming towards us are not my concern. I'm still in my blood rage of like, to these children. So close enough. So I grab the throat of the one there, and I try to whonk him with my mace.
2d6 plus 2.
Dun, 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 dun. 7 with a 2 and a 5.
You hit him, and he only had a single hit point left, so you smash right through his head. He's out. Crushed him like a cantaloupe. So.
Be gone, you be.
And with that, there are the 3 remaining ones, but it looks as though their spirits are broken, and they are attempting to flee. Do you pursue them, or do you let them run as the cowards they are?
I really don't want people to pursue us back in greater force.
Do you think they would do that?
Yes.
We're in
Well, then,
our territory.
let's get them! I said.
Oh, here.
Yes! Come with me, halfling!
And I grab my bloody dagger out of this one guy that I felt, and I'm like,
Yeah, no rolls required. You guys finish them off, so you get in there and you take them out, and assuming that's what you wanted to do with them.
I hold out my tiny hand to the center and say, "That's how the Grey Cloaks do it."
The Grey Cloaks faction is rising in power.
Yes. One day we will rule the city.
So, interesting of note, you have successfully chased off these individuals, and the woman and the children are there, and she goes, "All right, now are you going to take this wagon and these children away from me? Please?"
Where do you get the supplies for the wagon?
I travel through the various wards here in Dortoka. I seek out factions. There's the Hazka, there's the Dark Ones, there's other traders, and they're all over the city. So,
are you in
most of
good
it's scavenging.
standing with them?
Not great. We're competitors, rivals, frenemies.
Can I hop on the cart and start investigating what's in it?
Yeah.
Down.
There's all kinds of odds and ends. Yeah, go ahead.
I almost don't dare to say it, but I want to loot the bodies.
Yeah.
Out there.
On the bodies, yeah, you managed to come up with checking the bodies. There are 3 blue gems that you're pretty sure is lapis lazuli. There's 2 emeralds and 1 ruby. So, these precious stones.
3 emeralds and what? The
The
last one?
1 ruby, so a red
ruby.
stone of great worth.
Nice.
Have we confirmed they were the Crimson Star? Like we see a symbol on them, or?
There's no real distinguishing marks on them. For all we know, these are pretenders.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we should really get moving.
Yeah, we have a mission.
Yeah,
And a cart.
I don't want the rest to catch up with us.
Does this cart have a horse on it?
No.
Oh, shit.
It's like a hand
Crap.
cart,
Oh.
Mormon pioneer
This
style. You gotta
cart.
pick it up and drag it.
Are we on a hill?
The children.
No, you're on cobblestone. I mean, it's kind of like a concrete circular paths, except it's cobblestone circles, kind of whirling through this.
That's a shame.
But if we have all those children, and I could pass as another kid as well, we could just make this procession through the city, so no one would be the wiser, right?
And get the kids to pull the cart. I like it. I love it.
We're not pulling no cart, they say.
You want to be safe?
Yeah,
I'm holding
they all
the bloody
get it.
dagger.
They all move into position to pull the cart. Children's slave labor. How dare you? I'm clipping this and reporting you.
Right.
Hey, I'm just a
Listen,
goblin,
we have
okay?
fun life. We have fun once before a card as well, so this is just things turning around.
They gotta learn the
Good
value of
profit.
hard work.
It's gonna slow us down. We need to move quicker.
Yes.
We should leave it.
Yeah, we should get whips. You're right.
I heard whips.
Do we have a time limit? I mean, if we are well disguised, then time does not matter, right? Or do you really want to push those poor kids?
Oh,
I mean, profit is profit.
profit is profit. You got a good point there.
It's slower, but it's more in disguise. So we should do it.
Excellent.
For the kids,
So-
obviously. We're keeping them safe.
Yeah, that's right. That's our only motivation, keeping the kids safe.
He says like he's
Precise.
pulling out
Yeah.
valuable things and looking.
Yeah, you're finding like all sorts of stuff in there. And go ahead and roll just straight 2d6 for me. There are no modifiers to this. This isn't like a task that you're doing.
It's a 6.
But this will determine something. You got a 6?
Mhm.
Okay. So here's how this works. You found one of these things. So I have a book called The Lazy Dungeon Master Workbook, which was written by my friend Sly Flourish, Mike Shea, of slyflourish.com fame. He said shame. I'm gonna clip that and send it to him. So you find a ornate primeval. Go ahead and roll a 1d3 for me, Scrat.
I'm not prepared for rolling a d3. That's not a.
So roll 1d6, and 4, 5, 6 is 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's too late. I've already started rolling in Roll20.
Okay.
So I got a 3.
All right. Now it is an ornate primeval suit of half plate that will summon black tentacles, kind of like Evard's black tentacles from D&D, out of the ground once per day. So it's sort of this dark, dim, there is an otherworldly extraplanar power sort of being depicted on it. Some sort of godlike creature unlike any you've ever seen, and it's a very sophisticated suit of armor, and it casts that spell.
Does it fit me?
We'll
No.
find out. So we're gonna roll 1d20 for me, or roll 2d6 straight roll.
It's a 5.
It does not fit you, but it fits every other member of the party except the halfling.
I
What?
won't tell anyone about it.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
It's just sitting in the cart.
I am greedy to a fault. I apologize.
That's fair.
But you're supposed to help the group. You're not supposed to be against the group.
Nah.
I'm not
True.
against the group. Not against the group. Just you know, they've all
see.
got armor. You know, they're not needing armor. Okay.
So there is a path the kids are currently pulling the cart for you. Do you want to go up the north road or south? It goes both ways.
I have a question. How's
Yeah.
the situation for kids in the city? How are they treated?
It depends on the kids and it depends where they're at.
Okay.
Wait, have we adopted all the kids in the city?
I think we
No.
just got them. They are most likely orphans, right?
It's a group of 6 orphans, although they were collecting food and some of them says, they were going to bring it back to their families, but they'd rather hang out with you guys. You seem tough.
Oh.
Yeah, you can go home later. It's no problem. Maybe.
No, I mean, we like this now. In fact, you bought us fair and square off the woman. Trade fair's fair, Never go back on a deal, Mom said.
That's true.
I would like to take out the small wooden or metal cup out of my pocket, and I put a few pieces of, I don't know, copper or something, whatever the lowest coin is here.
Yeah.
And having this cup in my hand and just let it do this rattling sound, I would like to lead that procession and say, come on, and donate for the Swiftfoot Orphanage. Look at those poor little kids.
This is
need
great.
Your help. They are the future of Datoka.
So my question is, are you headed to the north or the south?
To the north. I think it was the original direction that we wanted to go to, right?
Okay.
I believe so.
Why Saheli is doing that, I'm going to try and make a box with a slot in it and rattle it at people. I'm just going to put a coin in it and just rattle it as we go. See if we get any coin.
Yeah.
All right. So you're headed up, and the woman, Amaya, kind of waves. She's like, "Goodbye. Thanks for taking the kids from me." And up you go to Tent Town. Where's my notes? Tent Town. Jeez. All right. So you are heading up, and there is a whistling wind blowing through the streets. The road goes from cobblestone to a sort of glassy gravel, and there are tarps and cloths covering many tents that have been erected. There's at least 12 bronze statues lining the street, and they depict different monstrous beings. There is not a soul out about. The road itself almost seems to stack upon itself very unevenly. And there is a tall tower, very tall, kind of waving in the wind, very unsteadily, looking like it could go at any time. And this area, on all the walls, and even you can see on some of the cobblestone, there's these glowing, throbbing, arcane runes, kind of emitting pale and otherworldly light. What do you do?
I go straight to the dwarf.
I mean, you're a dwarf. You understand runes, right?
Yeah, what's that glowing stuff?
I can try to look at it. I'm distracted because they're throbbing. They're lights. I don't like lights.
Yeah.
The kids are like, weird.
You've never seen this before, kids?
No, we've never come up this road. It's like a death trap.
Oh.
I wonder if the runes make it so that this weird tower does not topple over.
We heard the insects live here.
Lord, I hope.
Insects?
The bugs. There's bugs here.
What bugs?
They're big and they're mean, and they do all kinds of horrible things. They go to and fro the forbidden floating temple that's up in the sky, and like they point up and you can see there's the floating sanctum. It's very high up, roughly a mile. And these bugs, they come and they go from there as they please.
Excellent. Let's catch one.
No, I don't like bugs.
About how big are these bugs?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know.
We think they're as big as you. That's what we've been told.
What?
About the size of a wolf.
It's okay, Xander. What we can do is we can wrangle them and ride them up to the temple.
My thoughts exactly.
Is that
You
what
hear
you
it.
think?
Yeah, you hear a faint buzzing in the air. Just kind of.
We're gonna wrangle deadly bugs, and you think we're gonna ride them?
Of
Yeah.
course we will.
Of course we will.
What
Let's
do we
do
have
it.
to motivate bugs?
Well, we've got
Well, we
two
have-
large pustules of food. I gestured to the kids.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you can always grab onto their feelers and then say, "Hey, buddy, you do what I say," and intimidate them.
Kids, do you
Say
want to
you
make?
your fears.
Do you want to make some coppers?
Yeah, we love making money.
Good. Just stay here and make a lot of noise. Guys, let's hide.
Oh, the jingle, 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 jingle. All of you roll 2d6 plus 3. There's no way that anyone will be paying attention to you. It's the children jingle jingling. A 4?
Yeah.
Who was supposed to roll, by the way?
That's
Everyone,
impossible,
right?
everybody. So a 2d6 plus 3.
No,
Yeah.
4 plus
13.
7.
7. 13's success with a great benefit. So,
12.
7.
12 as well.
all right,
Nice, guys.
so everyone is hidden, and as the children are making the noise, you see there's all these tents that are propped up, and each of the tents has like a strange marking at the opening of the tent. You can see now lights kind of go off in each of the tents. Some are blue, some are violet, some are green, some are red, some are yellow. And you see these silhouetted forms of humanoids, although you can see their clicking mandibles, and they're hunched over, they have long arms, as the children are on like the third verse, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, and yeah, never gets old. And the tents start to open and these creatures start to emerge from them. So what do you do? They're kind of creeping out. There appears to be probably 30 of them.
Do they look hostile? Because
Roll 2d6 and you may or may not have a modifier for this. They're alien to you, but
I
you share a commonality with them.
rolled a 9, and I am carefully observative. There could be a +1 there.
Yeah, they're alien in nature, but meaning, you haven't seen anything like this. With that said, you get a +1 for a different reason that's unknown to you. So, yeah.
I would like to eyeball how many of them there are exactly that are coming to us.
There are 33.
30.
Oh my bloody hell! I didn't
Hey,
need
guys!
3 of these.
Guys, let's back
you
away
better
slowly.
maybe abandon this.
It's okay, we got this.
But
No.
we can't wrangle 33 humanoids back.
No, my adrenaline's just getting going. I think we got it.
We only need 5, man, not 33.
You go try hopping on one of those.
So
You
they're
start
kind of
this
coming out and they're kind of lurching to the kids. The kids seem very frightened now.
Do you really think that they
Yeah, I
can
think my guy
fly?
would run out and tell the kids to run south, back the way we came. Just start shouting, "Run, run!"
All right, they stop and they kind of look towards you, and the kids are running back, ah! kind of falling on the glassy gravel, and getting out of it.
Fine.
With that,
Do they move like a hive mind, or do they have a leader, or...
how are you trying to discern which one's the leader? Are you looking for the queen bee?
Yeah, is one giving commands, or do they seem to be like not communicating at all? Are they just like moving like
You can hear them talking to each other, though you don't quite understand the language. You're picking up on the nuance, though. They appear to be communicating with each other telepathically.
Okay, so do any of them have like any plumes or shiny armor as a sure sign of a leader?
No, but the one that came out of the highest tent appears to be a little different than the rest. He is a dark midnight blue with silver speckles all over him. And it looks almost like these were added as augmentations. He was made this way. He wasn't born that way.
Oh.
I think if we really want to wrangle them, we have to wrangle that one.
Yes. What I'm thinking is, why don't we go and have a polite conversation where we try and convince him?
After you.
Yes.
Yeah, you first, man.
Well,
Yep, by all means.
I mean, a little bit of backup just in case I do have to hot-foot it. It'd be nice to have someone with me.
Yeah,
I'll be
come
right
with
behind you.
I'll come with you.
Why, thank you, Selwyn. You're a good guy.
I give you back up from the shadows, I say and brandish my tiny dagger.
Good
And
choice.
slink into the shadows.
I will stay off to the side, just so that I can still see him and the other ant.
Okay.
I'll stay at the cart.
I'll go right with you to your left. So don't brandish anything to your left, Turgak.
Got it. Don't brandish anything.
Okay.
Turgak is going to, heart aflutter, walk towards the group, aiming for this leader.
All right. You're approaching. The individual that seems to be the leader comes down the steps towards you. You kind of meet in the middle. Goblin to insectoid. And you are now eye to insect belly button.
I look up, I wave my hand and say,
You will help us.
using my psionics as a Jedi mind trick.
You're using.
Can I telepathically try and, convince him?
Yeah, roll 2d6. I don't think you necessarily have any modifiers. I don't think you can. But you get to use your technique.
Oh, boy. Can I use my advantage, or do I need to declare first?
You can use your advantage. I'd let you.
Oh, thank you. That's no better. I rolled a 4.
Oh shit.
All right. So you can't attempt to use your psionics again until after a long rest.
Yes.
And you now have developed a sort of an injury tag, which is essentially you've been tagged as a character where you're just not able to use the telepathy right now. And the insect picked up on your attempt to control its mind, and it sucks one of your secrets that only you would know yourself out of your brain and eats it. It knows your secrets now. At least one of them. Think of your most embarrassing memory. It's got it. It knows. High school was horrible. So you do that, and he kind of looks at you. He goes, "We'll help you." And you hear him in your ring, and then the mandibles kind of click, bug-like, and kind of speaks in your brain.
We want to get up there.
What have you got to trade with us? We can get you up there, but we want something of value.
I have a cart that has some valuable armor in it.
Bring forth the armor.
Hey, Louie, bring the cart over.
He's gonna make Louis pull it. Get your own damn cart, sir.
Yeah. I'll wait long enough that he's not sure it's going to happen, and then I'll start to drag it over.
All right. Yeah, bring it over. They're sizing up the armor, and just then the tower that was blowing in the wind begins to fall and crash. I need everyone to roll 2d6 to get out of the way. You might have a positive modifier to help you. Spell out what it is. If you're cautious, like Turgak was, that counts.
7.
I have been hidden and I'm used to slinking in and out of stuff.
Yeah,
Would that help?
you're not in range, Sahili. You don't need to
okay.
worry about it.
I was
Alright.
up to the side.
I think so. When you said you were going to go up and talk with him,
Yeah, I was off to the side, trying to.
this is a large tower, so it's like a house falling. I'm going to rule that you need to roll.
Yeah, I got a 7.
I got a 4 plus whatever.
Ooh.
All right. So what is the lower die on each of your rolls?
1.
That's how much damage you take. And if you have armor, you're going to reduce it.
Okay.
Well, my lowest die is a 1.
So your armor reduces it.
Yep. To what, 0?
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
So you don't take any damage. It falls, it hits, and it crumbles, and it's kind of like this big scary thing, which spooks a lot of the bugs. However, yeah, that tower was ready to go for some time.
I'm an entrepreneur. Can I try and swing this?
See? Not only do I have a powerful armor, I also have powerful spells.
Yes, yes.
No, you don't.
Did you not just see Turgak? You took down the tower.
We took his mind. Less.
Did he even have a mind to take?
Oh yeah, it tasted delicious. We would like to go back for seconds, but we gotta wait for him to try to probe our brains again. We'll take this armor, and we'll take
armor.
We'll take you to the portal, and the portal will take you to the floating sanctum. But be careful. We can get you there, but it's up to you to get yourself back.
Oh, yes. The hardest part is getting there. We'll find a way back. It's fine. We always do.
Can I ask this big guy, like, hey, is there something up there that you want?
If we wanted it, we would take it, but what do you have in mind?
Is he frozen? You still there? Six?
I think he froze.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
frozen.
he froze. We lost him.
Baby, come
He was
back.
so excited about the possibilities.
Oh, there he is.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
sorry.
All right. So here's what they respond. They say, well, if we wanted something up there, we'd take it. But what did you have in mind?
Yeah, if you give me the armor, I'll get you something that you want that only we can get. If you can think of something.
Yeah, there's the Hellfire Gauntlet. We'd like that.
Yeah, we can arrange something.
You bring the gauntlet, we give you the armor.
Armor first, then gauntlet. Otherwise, I won't survive up there, you know?
Well, what if we don't get the armor back because you die up there?
Well, then at least you know where the armor is.
That's true. We could loot it off your body. What if one of them takes it? Finders keepers, it's the rule of Dortoka.
Yeah, I'll make sure they won't.
All right, so, but you'll be dead.
I'll still make sure of it. No problems.
Roll 2d6.
Shit.
What did you get? It looks like you may have froze again.
Mhm.
Maybe crit fail.
Oh,
Just kick them out of Zoom.
Double ones, maybe.
his brain was
Snake eyes.
consumed. Yep, straight up snake eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it
That'll
looks
do it.
bad. That is not the look of someone who's just rolled a double six. So,
Ah,
welcome back.
great, you're back. What did you roll?
6.
Okay, so that's a fail. So here's what they say. They say we won't give you the armor, but we'll give you something else.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a little bit of roly poly. So here's what we're going to give you. So I have a cool thing that we're going to roll on. So, okay, the evocative title generator. So they're going to give you the the unbreakable
Okay.
the unbreakable rod of the void. We'll give you the unbreakable rod of the void.
Nice.
And he reaches in it almost like a magician making a magic wand up here. He sticks his two fingers together and he opens it up slowly, and then there's this like glowing quarterstaff. There's a very small handle that you can hold on it. There's it, and he looks at you. He says, "But you've got to let me eat some of your memories."
Fine, I guess. Just don't take one of my more pleasurable ones.
Oh, don't worry. We start with those. And he sticks his hand on your head and he sucks out the following memories. He sucks out the memory of your family, and he sucks out the memory of your mentor. And he also, as a result, without having any armor helping you, does 6 points of damage to you.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Shit. I
Does
am.
it suck them away forever? Like he no longer has them?
Soen no longer has these things. They've been devoured whole.
Yeah, I'm.
However, you have the unbreakable rod of the void.
I'm in trouble, man.
No family, no mentor.
Did you drop to 0?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how this works. So he's dropped to 0. You need to roll 2d6 now. This could kill you.
Oh shit.
So no! What did they do to you?
Well, that was slightly better, I guess. 9.
Okay, so you're awake. You have 1 hit point remaining, and you get the injury tag, and it's going to be the injury tag blinding migraine headaches. So it's just, you get these head pains.
In the background, you see Sahili jump out of the thing, like ready to yell at them, and then sees him getting back up, like.
What did you say? Blinding?
Blinding migraine headaches. So you just have painful, throbbing pains in your head from having your mind sucked. Now, I'm also going to explain a little bit about how healing works. Any time between a rest, you may heal. If you're healing yourself, you roll 2d6, and it's 7 plus whatever the lower die was. If someone else is healing you, it's 7 plus the higher die. If you sleep overnight, you heal everything. At this point in the game, there's no way you guys won't heal all the way back up to full health if you take a rest.
Guys, can we take a rest?
Yeah, I assume.
This is kind of painful.
Yes.
So a little bit of time passes. You heal up, now you're still going to have that injury. It'll go away after a night's sleep, though. And there might be things that come into play later that impact your brain. After some time, the insect people lead you down a dark, looks like about 200 steps going deep under the earth. And they take you to a room that would be like a tomb, except instead of having a floor, it just looks like the night sky where the floor would be. And there's many, many stars, and there's a beautiful moon, and it looks as if the world itself has been turned upside down. And they say, that's the portal.
The
Ooh.
cosmic portal.
You just step in there?
Well, you have to say the word. You know the word, right?
What's the word?
The bird?
Not allowed to say.
Why not?
'Cause we don't know it. Our memories were sucked out by some of the other
You
insects.
don't know it. You said you could go get things that you would want.
Some of us can go get things. Not all of us.
So which one of you can?
Him, and he looks at the other. He raises his hand. He goes, "I know the words. We just like funning with you guys." So they say,
like
in
these
order to
guys.
get there, what's that?
I like these guys.
Yeah, they're the dad joke bugs. They say, in order to go there, you must take an object that is your favorite thing that you currently have, throw it in there, and say your own name backwards. It'll be waiting for you on the other side, but you must show the sanctum that you're willing to give up your most valued possessions.
How do I know you're not lying?
Are you pulling our legs now?
No. Why would we?
Because you
We
just
have
tried
I,
it.
for one, am shocked after our hospitality that we've shown.
You probed this man's brain and almost killed him.
He let us. He
That was
wanted
a-
that thing.
Yeah, precisely.
That is
By the-
true.
By the way, what is this thing?
It's the unbreakable rod of the void.
What does it do?
Find
We'll
something
find
you
out.
don't like and hit it with it.
Oh, nice. I
I pull out my favorite weapon, my little dagger, and I kiss the handle, and I throw it expertly in the portal, and I say, Elias, and then try to jump on one of the
Disappears. Yeah,
stones.
she's gone. She disappears from existence. She's gone.
Crap, I need to go follow her. I take my divine totem, and I'm like, okay, say a prayer, be good. Turgak, I swear, if you don't follow us, it's your head. And
I'll get there. Cag,
throws the totem in.
All right, the totem goes in, but you gotta say your name backwards.
Red Nags.
Red Dax. She disappears. Cagrut.
I will throw my trusted longsword that's been with me since I entered the military and got out, and then I will shout the name UL.
All right. UL or Yeol? No. Your brain goes there, but your body stays behind. Yeah. He disappears.
Now, can any of you bugs lend me a pen? I need to spell this out.
Cagrut.
Yeah, Cagrut, man.
Cagrut. That doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like that would be Turgic. Not, I don't know. I'll give it a go. He's gonna take his money purse. He's gonna throw his money purse in. Okay, Cagrut.
Disappears.
I'm gonna grab my short bow, give it a kiss, and like, I'll see you on the other side, pup. And I'll throw it in, and I'll say, Nullis.
All right, and you're there. You are all now in a chamber. This chamber is dark, extremely dark. The only light that you can see right now is a small blue faint aura coming from an unknown source, illuminating two tapestries. There's one on the eastern wall, one on the western wall. The tapestry on the eastern wall depicts this beautiful matronly figure. She is garbed in extremely fine clothing. She has a very calm expression on her face. And the western wall has a tapestry of a man that looks discouraged and scheming. And he is dressed very poorly. And there's also a northern wall about 60 feet down. However, there are no doors there. And to the south, it is black.
Is everybody seeing all right? I mean,
Can I take a moment to allow my eyes to adjust to the darkness, even in the way that's pitch black, so that I can see normally in the pitch black?
Mm.
You do that.
I eyeball the dark until it goes away.
Do I get something like dark vision is, since I'm a beastkin?
Well, you're a wolf.
Yeah.
They don't see in the night.
I will use one use of my adventure
smell
kit
well,
to light a torch.
Oh, good
Yes.
idea.
Right.
Hey, but you wanna go? I was suggesting to the darkness.
As you, yeah.
King of the tunnels.
And I do that on purpose, like I wave it right past his face as I light it up.
As you light the torch, you see the bones of 3 dwarves, 2 elves, and a human on the ground.
Oh shit.
They're
Do I-
clearly my children.
Do I also see my coin purse?
And
Yes, you all see your favorite objects.
Okay.
Yeah, I take mine, but are they alive or are they like?
What
Sit
killed
in there.
them?
Bones.
I would
It's
like to-
difficult to determine. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I grab my dagger and say, please notice the lack of halfling skeletons. And then I would like to see what killed them.
Okay, so you're gonna examine the bodies. So 2d6, and if you have any positive modifiers, we can figure that out.
I actually need to.
Oh yeah.
I need to roll a resist roll for that torch. I've just looked at the blindness thing for goblins. If I do it, I need to resist being blinded by torches and candles.
Were you
Great.
looking straight at it when he lit it?
Apparently,
So
I was
Scrap,
like,
roll 2d6, and then Tahina, go ahead and roll 2d6.
Yeah, that's my sneaky thief. Me being a sneaky thief.
I think so. I think you've seen this before.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Hey, I have 2 5. 2 5s.
Okay, so
10, 11 then.
you determined that something they were completely burned. They were burned completely, but not by a torch or a bonfire or anything of that nature. They must have been burned by other means.
Oh, I have good news and bad news, you guys.
Okay.
They were burned, and not by normal fire.
Oh, okay. Can I plunder their bodies?
There's nothing to plunder.
Shit.
Just skeletons.
Is there any burn marks on the ceiling, floor, or walls that we need to be looking out for? Like, does it look like
As you
burning
look up at the
from
ceiling,
somewhere?
you see the night sky. So as you look at the ceiling, it is almost as if you jump through into a different location. So you see that.
And then are there any exits?
Well, there. Okay, so as you investigate the room, there is a door behind the tapestry on the east wall and a door behind the tapestry on the west wall. There are 2 doors out of this room. Those are the only exits.
Would it
Besides,
be-
I point to the doors for my group.
Would
Let's
it
take the
be-
lady one.
You touched the tapestries?
Oh shit.
Nothing
Would it
good ever
be-
happens.
They didn't look dangerous.
You don't know what the fire made, right? I mean, well then, let's go behind. Let's take the door behind the smiling lady. She looks nice.
he
Don't
looks nice.
trust
Motherly.
it.
I kind of like the guy who's looks like he's planning something.
He looks dejected. I don't like that. Let's take the mother.
Yeah, I vote for that one. That one sounds right.
Fine.
Fair enough.
I'll trust you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
You open the door to behind the matronly tapestry, and instantly you see on the floor of this room. The room itself is very dark. The center of the room sits on a small square, a single lit candle, but there's about 5 inches of water just on the floor. And as you kind of open the door and step in, you can hear this, and then it sort of ripples around the room. This is a very dark room. What do you do?
Oh shit.
Does the torch allow me to? Is the water? Does it look like?
Oh,
clear
you have
water,
a torch
dark water?
illuminated. You
Yeah.
have a torch illuminated.
I have the torch. Yeah.
Okay, so it lights up the room. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll 2d6 plus. You may have a trade. I don't think so. You're roll 2d6, and then we can check. Might be able-
4. And no,
We
I'm
can start
tunnel
with the
vision.
war, so yeah.
I'm
tunnel
tunnel
vision.
vision anyway, so I would think I would be bad at noticing things.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It ain't good for you. So you see the door on the other side. Now, what you don't see are these sentinel automatons. There are these. The rest of the party can see this. There are these gold-headed, silver-bodied, iron-armed sentinel creatures that seem to be activating as the light touches them. They're starting to look around the room. You also see, in the far southern corner of the wall, a massive tentacled creature that is slowly sliding inch by inch down the wall. What do you do?
Do we see a gauntlet that looks like it makes hellfire?
Not in this room, but there is a door on the far northern end.
I would like to pull the door close. and say, wrong door, guys. Let's take the other one.
All right. As you back up out of the room, the light leaves with you, and you hear, ooh, and sounds like those automatons deactivated.
Those didn't look very friendly.
No, I
No,
didn't
but-
like the tentacle-y thing.
They didn't
But
look
the-
saleable, though. Can you imagine having one of them outside your house?
Yeah, they look profitable, man.
Yeah.
How deep was the water? Can we just like run past them? Can I run past them?
I think it was 5 inches. He said.
Yeah.
That's like waiting for me.
Did anyone see the candle in the middle?
Oh yeah.
There's a candle in the middle.
I didn't notice.
Did that light not touch the automatons?
I don't think so, but I'm more.
No, it was a very dim candle. It only gave off light, a couple feet around it.
Okay, so new plan. We take Turgak and throw him into the other tapestry and test the waters there.
Yeah,
No, it's
I can
throwing.
throw him.
No. It's okay. If we want to test the other tapestry, I'll walk. It's fine. I'll be nice
Okay,
and
okay.
cautious, and I'll
Yeah,
walk.
come on. Yeah, come now, Turgak, come now.
I'm gonna head over to the other tapestry, and I'm just gonna have a little look. And but I'm gonna look to Louis, and I'll be like,
Are you coming with the torch? Because if you're coming with the torch, then I need to know. If you're not coming with the torch, I can go and do the darkness thing. But the whole blinding thing, that's it hurts me.
It seems like the light was bad in the other room, so I'll just keep that assumption, and I'll say no. I'll stay back, and you can go in the dark. That'll be better, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I'll walk back into the other room. I'll get behind the tapestry, and then I'm gonna wait a moment for my eyes to adjust to the darkness.
But what if it's the opposite? We just let him go in there with no light, guys, and this one had needed light, and they activated.
Okay, so you adjust. You are no longer blinded, and your eyes have adjusted. Are you going through the other side?
Yeah.
All right. In this room, there is a single jade throne sitting on kind of like a rostrum. It's up. It almost looks as if it's a judgment seat of sorts. It's raised on a stage, and there are a series of stone fountains around the room. In each of the fountains, there's perfectly still water.
Huh. And nothing dangerous?
Well, what's dangerous?
Well, big moving automaton things.
Tentacle
You don't
stuff
see
come from the
those.
wall.
However,
Tentacle monsters?
you do see a door on the far end of the northern wall that appears to be locked. It appears to have an arcane seal around it.
Okay, well, I'll go in and I'll have a look at the. The fountains. I'm gonna look in the bowls.
All right. As you look in the bowls, you see your reflection, and you also see large pairs of eyes kind of floating through the ardor. They're large globous eyes that kind of are floating, and the pupils are looking right at you.
Is it the same in each basin?
Okay, so you're gonna get up and go check another basin?
Yeah.
All right. As soon as your eyes leave the eyes of the globes, it's flumping forward to attack you. How do you get out of the way?
I scream.
Well, that won't get you out of the way. I assume you're going to attempt to not die. So
Yes.
Go ahead and roll 2d6, and you may have some positives or negatives. A negative would be that it's trying to get you from behind, and it's a dark room, but you can see fine. A positive might be you're cautious.
I got double 6.
Woohoo! You succeed with a great effect. So you dodge out of the way. The splooshing sound wakes up another one in another basin, and it splooshes on top of the other one, which wakes up a third one in the third basin, which kind of pokes its watery, globular, gooey, oozy head, and is kind of looking around, but it doesn't see you. What do you want to do?
Run screaming.
Towards where? Or
Back to the party. I'm gonna run screaming. Before I go through, I'm gonna close my eyes and put my hands over so that when I run into the torchlight, I don't get hurt. I'm just gonna run out like.
I need you to roll 2d6.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 5 flat.
You're running and you're screaming. I don't know if you have any positive modifiers for this. You're typically cautious, but you're not acting in a cautious manner.
No.
Yeah, so here's what happens. So you step on a pressure plate and the door that you had come through slams shut and is locked. You, the party, hear this on the other side.
Oh crap!
Oh no!
No.
Oh crap!
I beat ineffectively on the door.
Yeah.
Can I disable it or open it?
You
with
can. You have a thief
tools?
kit. So let's see. Yes. So go
As-
ahead and roll 2d6 plus 2.
All right.
As the door slams closed, I burst out in a cold sweat. I stop screaming and suddenly go very, very.
Yes. I rolled a 6 and a 3, so 9 plus 2, 11.
All right. She unlocks it. You notice sitting in the throne, Turgak, a creature appears. It's a spectral form, a bony face with hollow eyes, and it wears a bronze crown. And it appears in the throne, and it says, "Pay the price and proceed forward." With that, the door opens, though.
Yeah, we'll rush in.
What is the price?
It looks and it says, "His staff," and it raises a bony finger, clickety clink, 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 and points right at Sylvan.
Mother, we just got this thing.
I really like this staff.
Right now?
Like, son of a bitch.
Why don't you just hit things with it?
Shh, don't tell him that.
Yeah, but I mean, we could avoid the problem if you just... They said hit things with it, right?
The
Yeah.
creature on the throne has no eyeballs, right? It's just
Word eyeballs.
There's no eyeballs. It's a skeleton-like creature wearing a bronze crown and tattered regal robes.
Do we see the eyeballs that chase the Turgak?
Those have gone back into the basin.
Oh.
They couldn't find them.
I would like
Oh,
to pull out the 2 emeralds that I looted from the bodies, and I hold them up before my eyes and say, "How about those 2? They are shiny. You could use them. It would make your face much nicer."
He goes, "The staff."
Oh, I really want to go through that door over there, but I kind of got this staff today.
Hey, question, sir. Where's the gauntlet? Is it behind that door?
It's behind the door to the north. Though I have never seen it, I am bound to this chamber.
This door is not the one to the... Is this door leading north?
The door to the north holds the gauntlet. Give me the staff, and I shall allow your passage forward.
Sylvan, why don't you play along with it and then at the last minute just tap him with it?
Yeah, I'm figuring that out as well. Yeah, I am gonna, like, cautiously contemplating what I'm doing and still, like, I have to do this. Yeah, I am gonna grab the staff.
Pointing at you.
I'm gonna grab the staff in 2 hands and walk over slowly towards him. And I'm gonna ask him, what would happen if you weren't given the... And as I say that, I will hit him in the head.
And as you hit him, a radiant light comes down from the ceiling. He is bigger than glory, and he goes from a ghastly visage to a very regal form, and his spirit rises up, and you hear, a very majestic voice, pronouncing a thank you, and expressing grace for releasing it from its prison.
What?
And it escapes through the ceiling, and the door to the north opens.
What happened? Where'd it go?
Yes! Yes!
Shh! There's things in the fountains.
Well done.
I mean, yeah.
Let's just sneak on through.
Yes, go
Is
quickly.
there any...
We don't have time to process. Just go.
Is there any artifact thingy around here somewhere, like on the throne or something, where he was?
No.
Shit.
Just run
It's
away.
the throne itself.
Go.
All
Let's
right.
go. Come on, guys. Let's go. Go.
Yes, let's go north.
All right. In the northern room, there's a small dais in the center. there is an eerie green light sort of illuminating this room. It's hard to discern the source of this light. It seems to dance and bounce around from wall to wall. There's a single pedestal sitting on the dais, and wreathed in a halo of fire is a gauntlet set upon the pedestal, burning, burning,
Oh, shit.
burning.
Well, that looks like a hellfire gauntlet if I ever saw
Oh
one.
yeah. Hey
Yeah.
guys, the
Haven't you?
skeletons were burned, right? Maybe something went kaboom with this thing.
Probably. Yeah.
Hmm.
How about we use our preparation thing that we were able to acquire a container for the gauntlet,
Oh yes, something with asbestos.
something that was meant to
Brilliant
carry it.
thinking, Louis. Yes. that's
Okay,
why they-
so here's what you can produce. You there's a you can produce it, but there's a very set procedure you must follow. So it's kind of like changing a fluid on an automobile, right? You know, you have to do it properly and correctly. So this is going to require a series of 3 rolls to move
Okay.
it from the pedestal into the gauntlet.
Ah,
Can we do this together? Maybe one holds the container and someone who's nimble tries to hot potato the thing in there.
Come on, together we can do this.
I could try to push it into the container with the staff, you know.
No!
no,
Do you
no,
see
no.
what you did to that skeleton? Don't touch anything with that staff.
The unbreakable wall rod of the void.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea because it is the unbreakable rod of the void.
I mean, we don't get hurt, you know, and
Yeah,
we
but
can.
what if it sends it to the void?
What if it
Bugs
doesn't?
didn't tell us what it does.
Yeah, but what if it doesn't?
The bugs told us you have to hit something you don't like with that staff. We
Yeah, but-
need this gauntlet.
Yeah, but I haven't said I don't like the gauntlet. I kind of have a debt to pay to the insects.
Whilst they argue, could I check to see if like there's any traps or anything on it as well? Have we already checked that, or?
No, but this is what you know. The pedestal itself can be moved. The gauntlet, although it appears perfectly balanced on there, it's not attached to the pedestal. And there's no other traps in the room.
Is there anything on the roof?
No. The ceiling is dark, black obsidian.
Hmm.
Let's just try to make the 3 rolls and maybe we'll get lucky.
Yeah.
So describe how you want to get it. So the first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to pick up the gauntlet somehow. You can use your hands.
Pick up my gauntlet. I will pick up the gauntlet with my chainmail hands.
Okay.
Could you not maybe
Roll.
put the rod in there? I mean, the gauntlet should be open, right? Where you put the hand in. You could maybe stick the staff in to.
Yep, you
move
could
it
do that
over?
for sure. So it sounds like there's 2 options. So go ahead and vote as a party. How many of you think Xander should grab it with your chainmail? We'll let chat decide. No.
Oh shit.
So who wants to try to fish it with the rod, and who wants to pick it up with the chainmail? So rod first.
Rod.
All right, we have 2 for rod, and then chainmail hands. All right. Okay, 3.
I like the
Let's go.
brute force method.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll a straight 2d6 for me, Xander.
Okay. 3, so 6.
All right, you rolled a 6. So you take 6 points of damage that goes straight through your armor. And now you need to make a 2d6 roll straight. If you haven't used your advantage yet, you can use your advantage now to try to put it in the container. Advantage means
probably
3.
good life choice. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Let's do it.
7.
Okay, so you.
Oh wait, no, you said I was using advantage. Lies. 9.
Okay, so you got a 9. So you managed to get it into the container, except the container spills over and a portion of the gauntlet touches the floor and the ground itself starts to disintegrate, and you see an abyss lower below it. You're going to have to find a way to scoop up the container as quickly as possible.
Don't touch it, guys! Don't.
Who's holding the container? Who's holding the container?
It's on the ground. It just kind of slipped and fell from this almost impossible weight of the gauntlet.
Can I like try to shove the gauntlet in with the rod?
You can do that. Roll 2d6.
Because I really like this gauntlet since it can make me a good profit. Yep, 6.
Any positive modifiers that you might have?
That would be plunder, pillage, and profit.
Yep. So
and probably I would say over eager because I really want this. My foreground is procurer of artifacts.
Yes. So you've done this before. You're like, all right. I've done this. I just don't want to show up. And so now there's this like vacuum sucking down into the abyss below. And you have essentially scooped it up, and the ground is no longer disappearing. And now you have a gauntlet in a container. And now you seal the container. So who's going to attempt to seal the container?
I'll jump on it.
A what?
I'll jump on the lid and seal it.
All right. All right. This is one of his daredevil anarchist moves. 2d6 plus 1.
Oh, floor roll doesn't count. That is a straight 9.
All right, a straight 9. So you jump on it and you do it and you manage to cap it. However, what is the lower of the 2 dice?
4, but I had plus 1, didn't I? So sorry, that's a 10. Sorry, I forgot.
Okay. So it's plus 1, 10. Nothing bad happens. You manage to seal it instead of taking 4 points of damage straight through any armor you have and burning your feet. So yeah, you now have the Hellfire Gauntlet trapped in a container, and you are free to attempt to make your way back home. What do you do?
Hey, Sylvan, can
There's
I
a
talk
door.
to you
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
for
There's
a
a door,
moment?
door in the west. Yeah.
You just said you have to pay that, and I do understand, but I thought it was only a ruse, right, with the bugs? Because as the brain behind this mission, I would like to remind you that we need the stupid thing.
For
We
what?
have a contract with the, what's their name?
All right.
The Kaiser bloodline?
Yeah.
Do we know what the gauntlet is used for, by the way? Does
It
anyone
bloody burns!
Oh.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I noticed on your hands.
Yeah. Permanently burned hands.
Ow!
You kind of smell like the corpses outside.
You know, yeah. I'm gonna need a moment. Sir.
But we're
Do you
we're
need
paid to
to
do a
step
job, so we've got to do the job.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually kind of in on the. This was actually just a ruse, but we kind of have to deal with the bugs anyway.
Do we? Do we have to? Who
We
says
don't
go
really
back?
do.
If we end up down there again when we exit this place, then yeah, probably.
Do you think they'll be waiting for us?
I say we take the bones and say, oh, whoopsie, look here, only burned bones. It was just a rumor. There is no gauntlet in here.
Right, can we not like make, I don't know, some kind of gliders out of something and then just jump off of this thing and just float away and avoid the problem altogether? I really like heights
Whoa.
and daredevil things. Why don't we try hang gliding?
Yeah, but they can fly.
Not if they don't see us. We'll make it out of the tapestries.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
So my
turn it
question
off.
is, how are you getting out of this floating sanctum?
Shit, is there any other way out, by the way? Or is just the portal thing in the back?
Our last use of preparation was parachutes, maybe?
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be too easy.
I mean,
No, it would work. You would have Sahili would know as a small folk. Small folk can always try to navigate, even if it's somewhat impossible. You can have a like a teleportation scroll that will take you back to the Katsai bloodline.
Oh, fantastic. Look what I brought. So gather close and I'm going to find out how this thing works.
All right,
Sure.
2d6 plus 2 to make it work.
Can we like land a little high anyway so we can do some of the
Um,
gliding? Is that possible?
I'll take you skydiving later, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to use my advantage.
Okay.
That's good. I rolled snake eyes, and then I rolled 2 4s, so 8 plus 2, that's a 10 then.
Okay. All right. So you open a portal,
Mhm.
and you can see on the other side there is the nobility that had recruited you, and you have an opportunity now to step into the portal with your container.
Can I just? Are we by the tapestries or something?
I
Or are we,
assume
like,
right
in
now
the-
you're currently in the room with the pedestal, but you could go to the room with the tapestries.
I just want to run over there quick, and I will grab one of the tapestries.
Yes, you stole it. Roll it up.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna run through the portal.
That's great. As he comes through.
Prop.
Fuck! All right, you go through the portal, and you come through on the other side. And as you're there, the nobleman says, "Do you have the gauntlet? Is it in that container?"
Well, I
Hold
have a
up.
tapestry for you.
I shake my
Okay.
head yes. Oh,
He goes,
Yeah.
"Not interested." And then he hacks off his arm right at the forearm with a sword. Opens the container, reaches his arm in, and the gauntlet affixes to his arm, wreathed in fire, and that is where we end the adventure.
You can hear halfling gagging
our
noise.
new overlord. That'd be great.
Well, I think this new overlord should remember how we helped him in his venture to become the overlord.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I hope to become a lieutenant again. So yeah, that's my reward.
I just want profit.
I just get like flashbacks of what it felt like to touch it. I'm like, what the? Oh.
I will hide my staff and like, this is mine now.
Good.
Okay, you guys. So
Super fun.
let's go round. What I'll do is we'll do a real quick wrap up tonight. Grant, how was that for you, buddy? How are we as a group?
I really liked it, and it's interesting. What I like about this, so this is an adventure that I generated and wrote this morning. I've run it for 2 different parties now, and it was completely different for both parties. It's kind of a point crawl, hex crawl thing where you can go anywhere in a ward of the city, it's just a 3x3 square, and you can go just about anywhere. And yeah, it was interesting. The last group, when they got to the pedestal and the gauntlet, they just removed the pedestal and bounced the gauntlet and went running with it. And then to get back, instead of having a teleportation portal, they said, wait, we said a keyword to get teleported here. Maybe if we say that same word backwards, it'll take us back. And, and it's one of those, it's one of those things where, I just really wanted to, I like running this system. It's very fluid. It's very simple. It's very narrative based. It empowers the players and it encourages very creative play. And I really enjoyed the party and the party playing together.
Fantastic. So we'll go around. We'll go anti-clockwise this time. We'll start with Solution. Solution, this is your chance to tell us where you are online and where we can find you.
Yep, you can always find me on Twitter at Solution Gaming, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Solution. It's Lucien. I know a lot of people spell it with AN, but I use an IEN. And you can also find me on YouTube at the same thing, youtube.com/Solution. You can find all our stuff. I stream games, lots of Dungeons & Dragons 5e, lots of Numenera, lots of Mass the Next Generation. I mean, anything you can think of, we're streaming and putting it up online with me and Jordan, who does a lot of the Forgotten Realms Explained stuff. So thanks for inviting me to the game. It's been super fun. It was cool meeting everybody.
Super fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. Thank you. Next is, I'll do me last. So next is Tix. Oh, hi, Tix.
Oh, hi. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the handle above, and you can find me here on Twitch at the twitch.tv/TICX_. And every Saturday you can find me on a different channel where we have D&D 5th edition in a campaign that I'm playing. On Faranox is the name of the channel.
Awesome. You can put that in chat if you like. I don't block that, so you can put that in chat so we can all go find it. Next, we have Tahina.
Hey everyone! You can find me on Twitter at Tahina_Andale or in Scrits. Wonderful Discord, and the next live streamed game will be this Tuesday on this channel when I play Forja Flamemane, the Daughter of the Desert, my fair genasi druid in Wizards and Wardrobes.
Fantastic, thank you. And last but most certainly not least, we have Jess at Burst of Hope, which is my new favorite Twitter handle.
It's a fun one. I'm literally Burst of Hope anywhere and everywhere except Twitter. It's a 0 for the of because there's been a bot who's had that handle for 9 years. Whatever, I'm not salty. I'm actually going to be at Gen Con, so if anyone's going to Gen Con, I'll be running some games for Monty Cook. Yay, I'm excited. And this game has been absolutely phenomenal. Like, super
I'm running
chill.
games for Money Cook too. I'll see you in the room. Yay!
Yeah.
I'll be stopping by to harass everyone running games for Monty Cook.
Aw, yeah. But yeah, I do martial arts in real life, and then I very sporadically stream either RPGs or video games. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, that just leaves me. I'm not going to Gen Con, and I'm a little salty about that. But I am here pretty much every day. So we've got another show in an hour and a half where Little Red Dot's going to be DMing. Other than that, here's all my links. There's my social links there. Also my Patreon, where you guys can support me for as little as $1 should you choose to. And also I have merch. If you like the look of my little one-shot book with the logo on, which is just the right size to write a 3-hour one-shot in, that's where you can find one. I think that's everything. So, why don't we go and see who's online? Unmade Gaming, are they still doing the whole charity thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over there.
yes, go
All
fight,
day,
win,
every day.
do the thing.
I think that's right. Yeah, there we go. We're heading across now. So thank you very much, everyone. Really looking forward to the next time we'll get to play together. It's a joy every time. Thank you, Grant, for DMing. It's always a pleasant session when you're in the DM seat. And yeah, thank you all. So keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Grant.
Thank you.